Don't you believe in retirement?
No. Not a bit in the world. When the Lord put old Father Adam here, he never told him to quit at 65, did he?
That's right.
They worked everything here.
Right on.
What if I told you that the mastermind behind one of the most iconic fast food empires didn't taste true success until he was over 60? Imagine facing endless failures, heartbreaks, and setbacks, only to rise from the ashes in your golden years and create a global legend. This is the story of a man who refused to quit, a man who turned a simple recipe into a billion-dollar empire when the world thought he was finished. Get ready to witness the incredible journey of Colonel Harland Sanders, because age didn't stop him, and neither could failure. Colonel Harland Sanders, the man whose name and face are synonymous with crispy, delicious fried chicken, didn't achieve his success until later in life. And when he did, he didn't just create a brand, he created a global phenomenon, KFC. Colonel Harland Sanders faced countless rejections, devastating losses, and doors slammed shut in his face. Yet, through it all, he held fast to one belief: his dream was worth every fight. While others would have given up, Sanders turned his struggle into his fuel, transforming failure into a recipe for success. Against all odds, he didn't just build a business, he built an empire, leaving behind a legacy that still ignites the hearts of dreamers around the world. This is the story of a man who never surrendered, who turned nothing into everything, and proved that with enough grit, anything is possible.
I was working for a living. I operated a restaurant for about 25 years.
Yes.
Trying to serve the best food that I could serve to the public. That's where I developed my chicken recipe, that I wanted to have the best chicken in my restaurant than any competitor had. So I was on the highway where they go to Florida or to the Smoky Mountains, and as they went down to there, I wanted to get them as they come back. And you'd find out surprising how long they forgot all about the price of the food before they forgot the quality. They come back again for that good food.
Colonel Harland Sanders was born in 1890 in Henryville, Indiana. Life wasn't easy. By the age of 6, he was already cooking for his siblings after his father passed away. That early start in the kitchen would plant the seeds for what would later become a culinary empire. As a young man, Sanders tried his hand at many jobs. He was a farmhand, a railroad worker, a lawyer, and even a ferry boat entrepreneur. But nothing seemed to stick. In fact, Sanders was fired multiple times, including from his law firm after a brawl with his own client. Who would have thought a man with that resume would one day become the face of a global brand?
I had done so many things in life, it had played out. Looks like the ferry boat business went out of business when they built a bridge across the river. And my lighting plant business, selling gas lights, when Delco come in, or they had electric lights for the farmer, I couldn't sell mine. So things just went bad for me all the way along, but I always grabbed up something that I thought was useful and good.
At the age of 40, when most people settle into their lives, Harland Sanders was just beginning to chase his true calling, taking over a small, modest service station in Kentucky. He didn't just serve meals, he served hope. Amid the smell of gasoline and the sound of passing trucks, Sanders worked tirelessly, perfecting what would become his legacy. What made him stand out? It wasn't just fried chicken, it was a masterpiece. A secret blend of 11 herbs and spices that transformed a simple dish into something extraordinary. His chicken didn't just fill stomachs, it sparked joy, creating a local sensation that would soon grow into something far greater than anyone could have imagined. In that little service station, Sanders wasn't just cooking, he was creating history. By 1936, Sanders' chicken had become legendary. It was so popular that even the governor of Kentucky took notice, bestowing upon him the prestigious title of Kentucky Colonel, a symbol of high honor and distinction. And that's how Colonel Sanders was born. But this wasn't just a title. It was the beginning of a brand that would soon take the world by storm, cementing his legacy as the face of fried chicken greatness. But Sanders wasn't content with just local fame. He craved something bigger. He believed with every fiber of his being that his recipe was destined for greatness. Fueled by an unstoppable drive, he set his sights on something far greater, to share his beloved chicken with the world. Just as his dream was starting to take flight, disaster hit, and hard. His thriving business was wiped out, leaving him with nothing but his unwavering belief in that secret recipe. It was a crushing blow, But little did the world know, this was only the beginning of Sanders' legendary rise. In the early 1950s, fate dealt Sanders a cruel hand. A new highway rerouted traffic away from his restaurant, choking off the very lifeline of his business. Forced to sell it at a loss, Sanders found himself at 65 years old with nothing but $105 from his Social Security check. Most people would have called it quits, hung up their dreams, and retired in defeat, but not Colonel Sanders. Instead of giving up, he packed his bags, armed with nothing more than a recipe and a burning belief in himself. While others saw an ending, Sanders saw the start of a new chapter, one that would rewrite the rules of success and show the world that age is just a number. Instead of giving up, he hit the road. Armed with his recipe and the belief that his chicken was the best, Sanders traveled from restaurant to restaurant across the country, offering to sell his recipe in exchange for a small royalty on each piece of chicken sold. He faced rejection after rejection over 1,000 times. Can you imagine? Most people would have walked away, shattered by so many no's, but not Colonel Sanders. He held on to his belief, and after what felt like a lifetime of closed doors, it finally happened. One yes. In 1952, Pete Harmon became the first franchisee, and from that single spark, a wildfire began to spread. What started as a humble kitchen dream exploded into a phenomenon. By the mid-1960s, Sanders' vision had skyrocketed. Over 600 KFC outlets spanned across the US and Canada, forever changing the fast food industry. That one yes didn't just open a door, it unleashed a global revolution. In 1964, at the age of 73, when most would retire and rest, Colonel Sanders made his boldest move yet. He sold the Kentucky Fried Chicken Corporation for $2 million to a group of investors.
You know, we kind of got away from that too. By settling out to two different corporations since I sold. I sold to one couple of fellows as a partnership. They kept it 7.5 years. I got $2 million for it when I sold out 7.5 years before that. I got $2 million for it.
But even after cashing in, the Colonel wasn't about to fade into the background. Dressed in his iconic white suit with his signature goatee, he continued to be the heart and soul of KFC, promoting his beloved chicken with the same passion that had driven him from the start. To this day, the image of Colonel Sanders remains one of the most recognizable icons across the globe. More than just a face, he symbolizes determination, grit, and an undying love for fried chicken that has transcended borders, cultures, and generations. KFC is now a global powerhouse in the fast food industry, with a taste and legacy that unites people from every corner of the world. The Colonel didn't just build a brand, he built a legend. Today, KFC boasts over 24,000 franchises in more than 150 countries, generating billions in revenue every year. But here's the kicker. This global empire, now one of the most successful fast food chains in the world, began with one man, one small restaurant, and a simple dream. Colonel Sanders went from virtually nothing to becoming the face of a multi-billion-dollar empire, from zero to hero. And it all started when most people thought his time had passed. But KFC is more than just fried chicken. It's the embodiment of a story that resonates deeply. It's the story of a man who refused to quit, who believed in himself when no one else did. It's a story of resilience, of pushing forward even when life knocks you down over and over again. Sanders' real secret wasn't just the famous 11 herbs and spices, it was his unstoppable determination. A recipe for success that can't be found in any kitchen. Even though Sanders didn't achieve his breakthrough until his late 60s, his journey proves that age is just a number when it comes to chasing your dreams. His legacy isn't just found in the crisp taste of KFC. It's found in the hearts of entrepreneurs, dreamers, and underdogs who face obstacles but keep going. So, the next time you feel like giving up, remember the Colonel, a man who turned $105 and a dream into a global phenomenon at the age of 65. If he could do it, just imagine what you could achieve. If you enjoyed this story of grit, determination, and success, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more inspiring content, and share this video with someone who needs a little extra motivation today. Thanks for watching, and remember, never give up on your dreams.